Thank you so much for joining me once again here on Now We Drive. Exciting part 3 of the John Cooper Works project, F56. Got my front bumper, that came a couple of days ago, stripped it all down. Obviously it's in the wrong colour because ours is the A52 white silver, I think it's called. Cracking colour. I love the colour in the cars, but it would be my choice. So we're going to get this cleaned, sanded, filled, a couple of little nicks here and there, which I'll show you a little bit later on. Going to get this primered. Also, I was having a think, what can we do to make the car just a little bit different underneath the bonnet? So what we're going to do, we're going to paint this engine cover also in the chili red. Obviously going to mask this off, and we're going to have the letters in a lighter colour. The new air intake, for the engine, that goes on like that. So we're going to mask this all off. Again, clean it off, get ready for primer, prime it up, and again, this is going to be in chili red. So first things first, let's get these cleaned up, and let's get them prepped. So we've given her a quick wash, the front bumper, and given her a soap down to degrease as much as we can. Pretty decent condition actually. There's a couple of little nicks on here, which is not going to primer over, so we're going to have to sand this down and fill it. This should sand out. There's a little scuff. There's a little scuff here as well. Again, just sand out. Again, not really. This will just sand out as well. Might put a little bit of filler, a little bit deeper. So we're going to sand that down and see where we get to. But in general, we're going to give this it's quite nicely finished. So it's just really just getting a little bit of key on it with some light wet and dry to so it gives something for the primer to stick onto. So let's begin sanding this down, and let's start to fill. So we're going with the 150 grit so we can get a nice and rough. So it's got something for the filler to stick to. So now we've just got rid of that. There was a bit of a leading edge just here. We've got rid of most of that. So it's really making sure we get most of this scuffed, so we can just get a dot of filler and making that look as good as new. Now we've just got these two small bits here. I'm just going to scuff these up. Yeah, that's fine, that one. So what we're looking for is a nice dull finish, which we've got. Well, most of it's starting to rain outside, which is a bit of a bummer, but as you can see, pretty dulled up. We scratched it all over with 320. I did start with 600, but it just didn't seem like it was doing much of the lacquer. So I think that's near enough ready. There's a couple of bits I'm going to go over. We'll get them done now. So I'll give this a quick bit of a 600 over the top. I'm just going to quickly mask up the mini sign. Ready for primer. it's ready to go. So just go through the bits that we've done on these particular panels. Roughed them up, sanded them, 320 grit, get all the gloss off, washed them down again, checked over, all nice and dull everywhere. Then we've gone over with some just clean water. Then we've gone over some panel wipe, and now let's get some primer on. Take a quick break there. This is the next day, just so you get some continuity on the video. I've let this dry overnight. Really don't like the finish because I've got a little bit of, as you can see, a bit of flaking. So what I'm going to do, I just went to my local kind of paint specialist instead of Halford's, which the grey primer wasn't great. And I've got some red primer, which is the best possible paint to go under the chili red panels. Gives a better finish. So I was talking to the expert down there. Sand it down, a bit of 600, get all the flake off, go over it, a couple of coats of this red primer, let it dry, chili red, and then the 2K clear coat. So let's get on with this. I am your father. Maybe not. One thing I will say is, what I've learned about these, preparation, it's always all about. I remember yesterday doing the engine cover and not spending enormous amount of time on keeping it nicely buffed up, doing all of the right steps that I did for the other two, because I was a bit of a rush, the light was coming in. So, like I've seen on so many other paint YouTube channels, it's all about the preparation, 95% preparation, 5% painting, etc. So that's what I'm learning. So there you go. 3 coats of primer, red, has gone on all of the 3 parts that I'm painting. Now I'm going to paint 2 of them in chili red. I'm going to come onto the engine cover in a bit, because what I want to do is decal the letters on the cover. And to do that, it's a slightly different process, but we'll come onto that in a bit. I ended up only buying 1 can of the mini chili red from Halford's, as you can see. I did ask how much it would be to have it mixed by Morelli's. It was cheaper per can, but I had to buy 10 cans because that's the way they work, or buy a litre of it, which I haven't got my compressor yet to spray. So we had to go for this. But given it's only a couple of body parts, I'm hoping one 400ml can will be enough. As you can see, I've not painted this yet, and let me explain why. So the Mini and the twin power turbo, and obviously the masked off badge, I want to highlight when you lift the engine up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mask everything off and just paint these in the A62 white silver. Let that dry, and then maybe do 1 more coat just to get it up. And then I'm going to 2K clear coat over these letters. And what that'll do is, I've got to leave that overnight. Once that's dry completely, tomorrow I'll paint in the chili red, 1 very thick coat, and then go over with thinners while it's still wet, just very lightly over the letters to take the red off. and that will give us the underlying colour, which is going to be the A62 silver white silver. Then we clear coat it three times, and then you've got chili red body, nice A62 lighter, kind of a silvery white silver. Keep getting it wrong. White silver letters. It should look absolutely banging. So let's mask this off and let's get this painted. Masking tape and rubber gloves do not go together, so let's get those off. Smelly stuff, that 2K clear coat. All the parts done, looking really good, fresh. It's going to look amazing when it's in the engine. The engine cover, that needs to dry overnight, because what we're going to do is chili red the top, put one thick coat on, thinner off the letters, and then clear coat that up, and that will be banging. Wow, that was plenty of spraying. Obviously I can't place them in the engine just yet, because there's bits and pieces we need to put in there, but I can't tell you how so pleased I am with the finish of these two parts. They are so good, and they match so well to the rest of the chili red. I'm super happy. And using 2K clear coat, it really does lift the red. I wasn't overly pleased with this, and I'll tell you why. Because it was been quite cold, and I left it in my garage. Should have bought it inside, but left it in the garage. Wasn't cold. I don't think the 2K clear coat had actually gone off. So when I went over with some thinners, and I went over very lightly, not only did the red paint come off with the thinners, but also the clear coat, and it got right down to the plastic. So then I sprayed. I thought, you know what, let's just go red. But unfortunately I ran out of red. And it's not got the deep finish that the rest of the panels, like, I don't know if you can tell on camera, even though I'm recording in 4K, it's just a bit dull. So what I'm going to do, very simple, I've got some clear coat left. I'm going to buy another chili red, give it a couple more coats, sand it down, a couple more coats, lacquer it up, and it'll come out as glossy and as gorgeous as this. Obviously very hard to see in this light, but I cannot tell you how happy I am with the finish on this front bumper. It is absolutely, it's so deep and rich and shiny. I'm trying to get my head torch on it so you can get a bit of an idea. It's just so good. Now I'm not going to touch it. Obviously it's difficult to get a colour blend because I've not got it up against the car. But given how big the panel was, I was a little bit dubious about how it would come out. Obviously I can't see until it's up against the car, colour match wise. But as far as finish goes, it is well above my expectation. I can't wait for part 4 obviously I've got all the bits now for the rad. I'm going to do that tomorrow, so expect an upload real soon. But yeah, really enjoyed. I love painting, I really do. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Remember, press the subscribe button and maybe watch some of these videos that are on screen now. But yeah, see you again soon.